Yeah, no, it was a really fun year, just all in all, especially from day one of spring training. I felt like we all had a great group of guys and just really bought in together from day one of spring training. And just throughout the year, being able to play each and every day with those guys made it really enjoyable going to the park, and couldn't ask for a better first year.
What was the best part of 2023 for you during the season?
Honestly, the clinch for I guess it was playoffs, because we walked it off. I mean, the division champs was pretty cool, but just the circumstances of the clinching the playoffs and walking it off, that was pretty cool.
Gunner, you're a big guy. You're bigger than most shortstops are. How has that worked for you? Because you originally were kind of a third baseman, thought to be a third baseman, and they kind of thrust you into shortstop. Did an amazing job defensively. So, what was the transition like moving to shortstop for a bigger fella?
Yeah, so it's my ever since I got into professional ball, I pretty much had to split time between short and third. So I felt like it was nothing new for me. I just was able to finally get my feet up under me after the first month and really show what I could do at both positions. But yeah, I knew I could play shortstop and was able to prove that.
What's the second year goal? Because they don't have a second year player of the year. This is the prestigious goal, of a rookie. What's the second year goal for you?
Well, I mean, I like to set my goals high. So, I mean, I want to shoot for an MVP, and that's what I set my expectations to, and that's what the standard I try to hold myself to.
And what do you got to do? What do you got to do to get to that? What do you got to do to go from rookie of the year to MVP?
Just honestly allow myself to keep going out there and just put myself in the position to play. I felt like once I finally got out of that rut in the first month, I was able to let myself go out there and play and really show what I can do offensively and defensively.
Gunnar, did you pick up on big league things, right? Like these guys have always talked about, I played with this player, he taught me this, or I just watched this player do that. I know your team was pretty damn young, but there's a few vets there, and doesn't even have to be from a vet. I mean, Adley Rutschman feels like a vet, even though he's not. But did you pick things up from other guys? And if so, like, is there anything that stands out to you?
The biggest thing for me was in the beginning of the year, it felt like I was kind of pressing a little bit and didn't realize how long the season actually is, and being able to go through the full first season and experience that really learn how long it is and that your numbers in the beginning and stuff and just how everything's working out, it's all gonna iron itself out throughout the course of the year. And I feel like that's just one thing I learned.
Gunner, you said you struggled the first month of the season. You guys don't have a ton of veteran position players on your team. Did a James McCann, a Cedric Mullins, a Santander grab you and say, "Look, dude, I know you're young, but there's 5.5 more months of this. You'll figure it out."
Yeah, so I mean, I felt like it was a collective group because I mean, like you said, our team's very young and they went through the same experience that I went through not too long ago. So they had that and remembered it, and was able to help me get through that. And I felt like that really helped me to push through it. And I just can't thank them enough for being the teammates that they are and just being able to have them on my side as well.
Was there somebody during the season that you met that you were like, "Whoa, like I met this, like this is pretty amazing"?
So I'll go one like non-baseball, and I got to meet Joan Jett. So I'm a big like rock fan, and she's a big Orioles fan. So that one was pretty cool. And whenever I did the in-game interview against the Yankees, I got to talk to Charles Barkley. So that one was pretty cool for me, being an Auburn fan.
Oh, nice. You talked to Chuck. What did he say? Did he have a joke?
He was just talking about Auburn, like being an Auburn fan and stuff, and then I think we might meet up at the Iron Bowl or something. I think he'll be there.
Nice, nice. Hey, do you have a chip on your shoulder from the draft still? Like, does that stay with you? I mean, we've talked to other guys this year. Like, I'll bring up an example. Zach Gallen, who thought that he should have gotten more Cy Young votes. Or there's plenty of players, I feel like, even another exciting rookie in Evan Carter, who was picked technically in the last round of the 2020 draft in the 5th round. Like, I remember, I mean, I would host a lot of draft shows that you were projected to go in the 1st round. You end up slipping to number 42, which worked out quite nicely. That was an epic draft for Baltimore in 2019 to get you and Adley. But do you have a chip on your shoulder ever from that, or at least initially to be like, okay, I'm going to show 41 other teams, or at least a good chunk of other teams, why they really screwed up here?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I was thinking I was going to go in like top 20 or just at least first round, and Whenever it kept falling, I honestly thought I was just going to go to Auburn. And whenever I finally got chosen, I mean, yeah, I wish I could have gone higher, but at the same time, I got a chance to go out there and prove that, yeah, I felt like I was better than majority, if not all, the ones picked before me. And yeah, I mean, I felt like didn't really take a chip on my shoulder, but I just want to go out there and prove everything because I know the standard that I can play to, and that's what I try to hold it.
I actually thought of someone else that maybe you've had some conversations with because he was pretty big for the position. Cal Ripken Jr. Have you had any combos yet? Have you talked to him?
Yeah, so he's come in the clubhouse a few times. I got to chat it up with him, and he was just telling me he really loves that I'm at short and being able to play there because he was in the same boat I was, and being able to go out there and prove that we could both play shortstop and being bigger and taller guys. It's been really cool to have him, and especially one of the best Orioles and best players to do it on your side and kind of helping you.
Gunner, can you take your hat off? Because I don't think you have the flow going. Did you cut the flow?
Man, I got it cut. I got it cut. I got the sides
Wow.
up a little bit. Sorry, I didn't brush it this morning, but
That's okay.
yeah, I had to get it chopped off a little bit. It's starting to get pretty long.
All right, because I mean, you know, when you hit your first big league home, remember your helmet flew off, and you got to show off the flow as you're running around the bases, right, with the headband. And oh man, I mean, there's nothing like, you know, your first big league hits a homer, helmet falls off, drive all the girls crazy at Camden Yards. I mean, can't be cutting it because, you know, that's kind of become one of your things. Like Kratz is bald, that's one of his things. So your thing has to be the hair.
Yeah, I mean, I grow it out for the season. I will say it's a lot easier to manage when you can wear a hat every day. But during the off season, it's a little tough to manage.
Well, Bryce has that too. Since
Yeah.
he started playing. Remember when he was first a rookie too, Harper, like the helmet would fall off all the time. And it's like, is the helmet falling off or
is it a little bit of woo?
Yeah, which whatever. Either way, it's great. Hey, what do you want? Who do you want to talk to? I would say in the off season, like of your teammates. Is there somebody that you'll keep in touch with, whether it's just to hang out, someone that lives nearby, or even work out with? Like, what's your plan in the off season?
Yeah, so I'm actually going up to a wedding in California, and then after the wedding, I'm going to go up to Adley's house in Oregon, and we're going to hang out and do some workouts, and I'm sure play some golf at some point. So, yeah, we got that trip scheduled. So we've been trying to do that for the past few years, and we finally got one.
I like that. Yeah, meeting of like the young franchise players. What's Adley been like, with the team? Obviously, we can see what he does on the field. We've had him on for interviews. Does he command the clubhouse? Is he the leader of the team? Is he the guy that people go to, or is he more quiet?
Yeah, no, he's just really funny dude. He's always joking around in the clubhouse. He's just a great guy to have around. I mean, I spent pretty much every day since we got drafted together with him, and he's been a really fun guy to be around. Whenever I got into pro ball, he kind of broke me out of my shyness and not really knowing what to expect, and just an all-around great guy. I mean, you love having him in the clubhouse, and yeah, I feel like when he's on camera, he's not as joking as he is, but once you get him off the camera, he's a really funny dude.
What's his funniest joke? What's his go-to joke? Is he a dad joke guy? Is he sarcastic? What's his style?
He can quote. I'll say he uses quotes from movies very well. He knows about every movie quote that you could think of, and he can use them in any situation off the top of his head. So
Is
that's
that your
probably one of
shtick?
his best.
Do you know the movies, or do you not? Or you just kind of laugh at them and say, "Oh, Adley, you're so silly."
I'll know some of the movies, but there'll be like some, like he loves rom-coms. Not to throw him up under the bus, but he'll just
Yeah.
quote those off the top of his head, and I'm like, how do you even remember that? But there are some that I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty funny. He does a lot of action movie quotes.
I like that.
I like it.
Yeah.
I do that all the time. My wife looks at me like I'm freaking nuts.
Amazing.
Not the rom-com. Not the rom-com part. I don't see you quoting too many rom-coms.
No, not me.
Listen, Gunner, you'll learn. You spend as much time on airplanes as you're about to, you get to watch a lot of movies, and you get to see movies multiple times. You
start that, or you lose a lot of money,
or you gamble and play cards and lose all your money. So watch the movies; it's much cheaper in the long run.
Yeah, that's what I planned on doing.
Gunnar, were you in on the Monopoly crew at all? Wasn't that Kyle Gibson playing Monopoly with the guys at the hotels?
Yeah, I felt like that was more for the pitchers. I never really saw too many position guys in on that. But yeah, I never got into that. There were some guys playing chess, and I don't know. I usually just stuck to the pool table, something that
That's fair.
yeah, I could not have to learn. So
I know there's not really much to look at as far as like past seasons for you. Of course, this is the first full season, but were you disappointed about how the playoffs turned out? I mean, obviously the goal is to win the World Series every year. The team won the division. You know, you've got a lot of career left to go, but did you look back and maybe even right after the last loss there, talk to guys in the clubhouse like, hey, we maybe could have won this thing this year. And now even looking at like who's in it, not that the teams aren't good. It's just like you got two wild card teams that have made it through to the World Series.
yeah, I mean, definitely don't want to get knocked out in the first round, especially after winning the division. But yeah, I mean, we made a step in the right direction. It's ultimately not where we wanted to finish off, or not where we thought we would finish. But yeah, I mean, it's just how it fell this year. But definitely to be able to get that experience in my first year, and a lot of guys' first playoff experience, is just going to help us in the long run. And looking forward to many more runs in the future.
Is this a discussion in the offseason? I know different teams that I played for, if I actually got to play back-to-back seasons with the team, the offseason was like, dudes were talking about, hey, you know, we came up short last year. This is what we got to do. We don't want to just make it to the American League Championship Series. Is that something you guys discuss?
I feel like with all the guys that we have in the clubhouse, we know that's not where we wanted to finish. And ever since we got into spring training, we know that we could be a winning team, and to be able to go in the playoffs and prove a lot of people wrong to even make the playoffs is pretty cool. But we all knew that we had a good shot at the World Series, and to be able to have that experience up under our belt to get the playoffs in our first year, or a couple of our guys' first year. But yeah, it's going to be pretty cool to see how the future unwinds and be able to hopefully make a lot of World Series runs.
I'm going to go back to something you said before. You're going to go play Adley. You seem like a really competitive person when I watch you play. Maybe you're not a competitive person, but who wins in golf between you and Adley? Who gets most strokes, and then who ends up ultimately winning? Or do you also play straight up?
So we'll probably play straight up. We have like a tournament that we're going to go play before we go to Oregon, but that'll probably be a scramble if I had to guess. But I'd say we're very similar in golf. We can drive the ball very far, and then it just depends on our wedges and putter on who will win. So we're very similar on that. I think we wouldn't have to give each other any strokes. It'll be a very close match regardless.
Gunnar, I got a couple questions on what you've observed around the league. So first off, back to you winning AL Outstanding Rookie. Who else in AL or NL, I guess, stood out to you as far as rookies that you went up against? Like, who would you? I mean, you did vote technically. Like, who did you think was the best rookie in either the AL or overall?
Yeah. So in the NL, I got to spend a lot of time with Corbin Carroll, which obviously is playing unreal ball, and it's been really cool to watch. I got to do some high school stuff, and it's been pretty cool to be able to kind of climb the ladder together. And then our first 4 years competing against each other, and it's just been really special. And I mean, everybody's got to see what he can do, and he's playing in the World Series right now, and they're competing for it. So it's been pretty cool to watch. And then obviously Josh Jung, I got to play against him this year. I didn't run into him any in the minors, but yeah, being able to see what he can do and the way he hits the ball, it's been really cool and really special to watch.
And then who's your favorite player currently in the bigs right now?
So my favorite player kind of growing up was Seager, Corey Seager, because pretty similar. He very tall, shortstop, or bigger guy, and being able to have somebody else to base kind of myself off of was pretty cool. And then he's probably one of the best shortstops in the game right now. So
yeah, he's pretty good. I think.
Yeah,
I think
he's
you would
doing
take
okay.
that
He's
career.
doing okay in the World
Yeah.
Series too. I mean, you know,
If that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, apparently you can get to the high fastball.
Or you know, like $325 million is cool too.
Yeah.
You know, all
Well,
basically
well,
everything.
let's ask the question that everyone wants to know in America: when are the Orioles going to sign you?
man, I wish it was soon, but I have no idea.
There's been no discussions, no anything? No agent back
not
calls?
that, not that I'm aware of.
Well, you guys are players. Did you ever can a player reach out, or you got to wait for the team?
Usually wait for the team, because
The
if
team
you're
has
if
to
you're the
call you?
player reaching out, the team thinks you're over anxious and they can
Right.
get you for cheap.
So
Right. So you want the team to reach out, but I was never on a team when I was young. Like the Twins, they didn't sign anybody to deals.
So you just went and played.
You just went and played. But now it's changed, and now all these teams are signing these guys to Corbin Carroll, $100 million first year. Right? I mean, that seems almost more than norm, especially for a player of Gunner's talent level. I mean, Adley, Gunner,
Yeah.
I mean, you'd think, man, if I'm the Orioles, I'm like, and we better get these dudes locked up because they're going to get 325 on the market and be gone.
Well, we'll keep calling it out. You do your thing. We'll call it out on our show. But
Wait, before he goes, I got a question for him. He said Joan Jett. He got to meet Joan Jett.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a big rock guy. Okay. He's from Selma, Alabama. What are you listening to when you're driving around in your truck? Because I would think you'd be more of like a country guy than a classic rock guy.
Yes, and I listen. That's the only two genres that I listen to is country and rock, and just depends on the mood. But yeah, I get into a lot of country music, and when I'm like working out or something, it's always rock.
All right, so who's your favorite?
You were a rookie this year. Did they make you come to the front of the bus and sing it all?
Yeah, I did have to sing, and I ended up singing "Great Balls of Fire." From
nice.
Yeah, I got the inspiration from Top Gun, and yes, that was probably I gave them a couple songs to choose from, and that's the one that they came with. So
how'd it go?
It was pretty good. I kept it from like the first line, or the first, I guess, chorus leading up into the second line, and that's where I cut it off. So short and sweet, but I got the job done.
Nice.
Can we get a little bit?
I knew Kratz was going to try.
No, only on the bus for the
guys. Kratz, you gotta sign with the Orioles again.
All right. Hey, make a deal. When you win the MVP, you come back on our show and you sing one line from Great Balls of Fire. Deal?
Deal. We'll put a song. How about that? I don't know if it'll be that one. It could be a country song.
That's fine. I'll even take rap if you want to put a little out there. It's up to you.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, and don't be a stranger. Come back before that. We'll talk to you either later this offseason or next season. But again, man, congrats on winning Outstanding Rookie of the Year in the American League. What a damn season. You should be really proud, and obviously enjoy the offseason. Have fun with Adley, and we'll see you in spring training too, all right?
Sounds good. See y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
Thanks, Gunner.